That's a good segue, so we can talk about the actual sequel
The
of
Duck's Day Out.
The Doug's Day Out. And at the end of the movie, the three clones, Lance, Rico, and Lenny, drive off into the sunset and go down to Miami to create.
They make a pizza place.
And they even have Lenny delivering pizzas and delivering newspapers, which he does the same way by throwing pizzas into people's yards.
Yeah. So I have one condition for our sequel coming up, though.
Okay.
Lenny has to get a clone. Because he gets tired of just like not being able to enjoy the pizza, but having to
be like a straight up Habsburg child or something. He's just rolling around in an iron lung on wheels or something.
It's gonna be all the royals they don't talk about.
The royals they have in the dungeon.
That's the kind of
the clone of a clone is the equivalent of like
right?
millennia of inbreeding and shit like that.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly what I was hoping for. One of them's got like a vestigial tail or something. The other's got like fucking gills behind his ear or some shit.
Yeah, Lenny needs a clone. Like, this is hard. I don't like this.
Yeah.
Right.
And he just disappears for a while. They're like, have you seen Lenny? No. He fucking somehow makes it back out to fucking LA or San Fran. Where they were in LA, right? For the main events?
They were in Miami. Oh, in the
No.
Geez, I don't really know.
Gemini Institute.
I thought it was like LA or
I thought it was
San Fran or something. I can't remember where the fuck they were supposed to be.
One of those.
California for sure.
Shit on the coast. West Coast.
Like a pitch for the sequel. So we have, like I said, at the end of the movie, the Dougs go down to Miami and make a pizza place. But I'm trying to, I couldn't really think of at that particular moment that I was thinking this, that there's a point in time where either the government finds out Dougs on the run, you know,
the Dougs file taxes. That could be the title for the second movie. It's all of the fucking.
The Dougs get audited. Yeah.
How do you get all the streams of income for all these dudes that aren't supposed to exist? And
they all try to claim each other as dependents.
That's true.
Well, and then that's how Andy McDowell finds out about the events of the first movie.
Yeah. Well,
all of a sudden the fucking IRS coming pounding on their door in Cali.
Yeah, like the regular Doug number one has to like come into contact with the old Dougs and be like, "What's going on? Like they're after us or something." Like the IRS is coming.
And then they're going to be like, "Fucking Lenny trying to get a social security card. He fucked us."
That's another thing. Like, how did they get fucking
duplicate documents? Yeah.
Unless they went to the doctor. And
the doctor says in one scene where, like, after he makes Lance, that he's like, "Oh, yeah, just make him some like a duplicate ID." Again, that's it. That's
so is this still during the time when they had like potentially like paper license, driver licenses and shit?
Probably, yeah.
I don't know.
Like, I don't know when they switched over to plastic. I mean, I've never had a paper one except for a learner's permit.
Yeah, me too. Or the temporary.
But that was also about a decade after the events of this movie. So
yeah,
I have no idea.
No,
I don't think so. I mean, I remember having some.
Well, like, I mean,
from back in the day,
or they would forge a plastic one, but it just didn't have all of, like the watermark bullshit technology like all of those do now to like make sure
it's easier to get away with identity theft in those days.
You think they're using like Doug's social security and his information because like I
don't see how because they have to apply for like business loans and shit, so they have to.
But technically, I mean, if they're doing that, they could still use Doug's credit score,
right? But then you have like four. Like, versions of the same.
I mean,
only one of them goes in there and does it. I mean,
yeah, let's be real. It's Lance. Lance is probably the one that does all the work and shit.
No, Lance is definitely the mover and shaker of that. Because he's the workaholic side of fucking.
Rico's the emotional slash backup support. Yeah,
because like, and I don't want to like use this as like a negative term, but definitely for like 90s standards, like that'd be like the effeminate side of Doug.
Well, yeah,
but I'm not trying to cast any aspersions on folks that like to do housework and make little cutesy shit or whatever, because I think it's cool, and a lot of stuff like Like I tried to remember the fucking foil scene because like I've already used foil to store my stuff. Like,
right,
was
and
it
he
Chuck
goes
Chuck Fold? The TTF.
yeah. He goes off on this wild ass
He spends like
long-winded
3
tangent.
minutes mansplaining.
And yeah, exactly. And it's okay. We can save this.
We can save this for later.
Use for Christmas, maybe just roll it up and put it on the Christmas tree.
Make some tinsel for the
dude.
Christmas
Yeah.
tree. Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
He goes, no air's gonna get in dirt because air's our enemy.
Shit.
So it keeps on folding and shit.
Yeah.
TTF. Tuck Tuck Fold.
It's fucking hilarious.
But it's also it's not even the fact that what he's saying, it's just the way he says it too.
Dude, it's the mannerisms, it's just because it's like the
different
kid who's never been like even in the threat of a fist fight.
Yeah, he's very soft spoken. I mean, like talking about it earlier when they all break the rule and sex up Allie,
rule number 1. Yeah.
What are the things she says when she's with Rico? She's like, that's very unusual. I've never seen you cry before.
Cry that much, or cry that hard.
Yeah. And then with Lance, it was like, oh, that was very, what did she say? Athletic.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to I got kind of carried away or whatever.
But we never heard the Lenny stuff apart from she touched my peppy.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Dude. Yeah, that was fucking great. Who was it? Rico was it Rico that was in the
he's in the shower,
the shower, and he's like, fuck, we all broke rule 1 or whatever at that point.
What's the way Lenny when she pulls down his pants, she's like, oh again? And then he gives that stare because he knows Rico's back there or some shit.
Yeah.
It's just fucking funny, dude.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So how do you think this sequel will
dude
play
and
out?
think about the fucking just the mind game, like the mind fuckery that Andy McDowell had, because she kept on going like, were you wearing the same shirt? But she's basically being gaslit the whole time. Like, no.
Oh yeah, I mean, at one point she full on slaps Doug. I forget all the other shit. She has a couple breakdowns and
this one went
her emotionals are just all over the fucking place.
Doug could try to get some time to go sail and play golf.
Yeah,
this is
basically just
shit,
decide
man.
to mind fuck his wife, throughout this thing.
Multiplicity 2.
And it somehow
what's her name? Nancy.
In the movie?
Yeah.
I
can't remember her fucking name.
Laura.
His name is Laura. It's Laura.
Oh, Laura. There you go. Yeah. Laura versus Doug, because it's the fucking court case where she sues the shit.
Oh, you know what? I want to see where the government is chasing after all the Dougs or whatever, trying to capture
people
them.
versus
Laura, and bitter ass Laura has been tasked with bringing them in, and she's got an eye patch and shit going in on the fucking. I'll make you pay. Whatever she's doing, the Beetlejuice voice for some reason for the whole fucking movie.
What if you think about it? If all the Dougs are revealed to her, I mean, she's gonna fucking lose her shit.
Yeah.
And on top of that,
that's when the killing begins.
At some point, I would say that Lenny's probably the one
so Laura becomes
reveal that they all got tagged. Lenny probably reveals in some childlike way that they all tagged her.
Yeah.
And she fucking flips the fuck out. She takes fucking Doug to court, wants to divorce him. Mind you, the kid's already
yeah. Ooh. She ends up pregnant, and it has to figure out what happened, and it goes bad.
Oh,
and then,
it better be Lenny's baby, because that'd be fucking hilarious, dude. And then Doug having to figure that out, shit.
Oh, you know what? Even the sequel, it could take on the sequel as a very basic premise, like they all kind of come back at some point because of the IRS, but then we find out that there's a third child in their life, and they don't know who it belongs to. But how would they find out since they all have the same DNA? And then at some point or another, she finds
the kid tries to build skis. They're like, "Oh, that's Lenny."
I was just thinking it would have been. Here's another one. I was just thinking if. They all come back and they try to reintegrate back in to Doug's life the way they were before. So Lance goes back into the work or whatever job. Rico goes back into doing housework, and that's when they start fucking up or whatever. Lance feels like all of a sudden it turns out Eugene Levy's character is the best fucking worker, and so he starts cloning that guy so that he can have his own workforce or whatever. Because doesn't it end where like Doug starts his own construction company or some shit?
He starts his own contract. He wants to start small or whatever. Yeah, but
I want to see clones of Eugene Levy going through there,
but
like showing up at like an hour late.
Go for that.
I don't know. I mean, he's the only one that knows. He knows.
No. Because when Doug got Eugene back, for the driveway, he's like, I've always thought
he was honest. He was like,
I thought you were the best concrete guy or whatever, and he's like, really? Like, no, there was just nobody else.
And there was no one else around. But hey, it worked out. I mean, great. So
here's what I say about if you're gonna propose that sequel, you don't have the Dougs come back, but like that Eugene Levy character finds out what Doug did, and then he goes to the doctor and starts cloning people. But that's a mediocre sequel.
No, fucking John Delancey finds out. Ted finds out.
But that's like an Evan.
Dude, that's like a straight up villain arc. All right, you're talking about some like Avengers shit or something.
Yeah, you get some fucking real strife in that second movie.
See, that's like a lower tier sequel. Like we all want to see.
Don't you lower tier me this? It doesn't even.
No, that's really that. Like his is good, but it's like you bold good or whatever. This is a really great idea with like the absolute shit execution kind of stuff. I don't know. Unless
people find out and then everyone starts making clones themselves, and then there's like an army of like clones in all scenarios. So you have the Dougs show up again, but mind you, maybe they show up at the last end of the movie where like they come in to save the day.
Dougs come to save the day, and you've got fucking Lenny in a tank.
You have Eugene Levy's characters like that they're all cloned, and you have Ted's characters that are cloned. And all these clones got to come and like fight each other.
I want to see Lenny on his skis with a fucking like assault rifle or something. Just yelling at people.
That's the movie that gets real dark, at the end.
Yeah, right. All the clones fighting.
Oh, holy shit! So they go killing clones, right? But they kill Doug, who they think is a clone, and Lenny survives, and Lenny has to go on a vengeance path. Oh,
but what if we find out at some point whenever they're killing?
I like machine guns.
Whatever we find out, they're killing clones that actually, if they kill a clone, they actually injure the actual original. Person.
That'd be
Is there something weird supernatural?
No, because you would have had
his
Doug nutting 3 more times that day while he was out on the boat.
Maybe he did.
That's why he was so sick.
That's why he was so sick.
He was so like empty of proteins and shit. He couldn't
just.
Yeah, he just started vomiting.
That's stupid, but I like it.
I guess.
Or like he fucking sensed something's wrong as like they're all like coming that particular night.
I was just picturing
just on the boat, Laura, with all of his sticker on him on the deck and shit, and on the dog walking by.
I want to see
on the jizz.
Oh, Jesus Christ! I had one more scene that I was trying to think of that I'd like to see, and it's just like the last Matrix. I mean, not the newest Matrix movie, but the last of the first 3, where like Keanu Reeves is standing in the street or whatever, and you see all the clones of the Agent Smith there, and like they're all just looking at him and shit. But I want that to be Eugene Levy, and it's just. They're just staring at each other, and I want to hear Eugene Levy say, "I am the one," or whatever, and then they can fight. Anyways, I'm done.